You are now tuned in to Hits 92.3, where we take great pride in personal expression of one's feelings, thoughts, or ideals. What you're getting ready to hear on this show are the opinions of the hosts and their guests, and they do not reflect the opinions of Hits 92.3 radio station, the brand, management, staff, their respective advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. Now stay tuned as this show begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Legacy Crypto Builders. I'm your host, Diana Townsend, right here on Hits Radio 92.3. I'm here each and every Wednesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to dive into the transformative world of blockchains with a purpose. Join us as we explore how today's tech pioneers are building the legacy of tomorrow, one block at a time. Stay tuned. The future of blockchain starts now. Hello, everybody. My name is Diana Townsend, and I am the Chief Visionary Officer here at Legacy Crypto Builders. We're here each and every Wednesday on Hits 92.3. We're talking all things blockchain, educating people on blockchain and AI cryptocurrency. Our mission statement here is to empower individuals to harness the transformative potential of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology by providing them with the knowledge, the resources and tools necessary to become successful entrepreneurs in a rapidly evolving field. We're dedicated to helping people achieve financial freedom by fostering innovation, creativity, and collaboration in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence communities. We do that through education, mentorship, and community building. We aim to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to participate in the exciting and rewarding world of blockchain entrepreneurship. I'm super excited today. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Cliff O'Neill, who covered for me last week. I was actually on vacation and I had a chance to listen to the show the other day. And I was so excited because I just realized, we are a product of our environment. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that opportunity and that relationship. And the same as today, I have a guest that's going to be joining us today. His name is Mr. Ricardo. Make it make sense, Hamilton. Ricardo, are you there?
I'm here, Diana. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
I always love whenever me and you get together and get to have a conversation because I absolutely love the fact that I feel like I'm surrounded by some gems, and that's the purpose of the show. I want to educate people. I want people to know there are some phenomenal people out here that understand blockchain and cryptocurrency. So before we get started, Ricardo, tell us a little bit about who Mr. Ricardo Hamilton is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I always like to start off my shows with a little, sound money clap, because this is what really got me started here in building wealth and understanding the monetary system after 2008 financial crisis. I saw the average person, friends, family, they got the short end of the stick. Wall Street got bailed out, but the people lost their jobs, lost their homes, half their 401k was down. And even though it came back, it took them about 10 years just to recover what they had lost, but they never got that time back. And in that process of understanding how the monetary system worked, I learned about the Federal Reserve. I learned that the dollar isn't money. I learned that it's God's money that's money, gold and silver, that actually gave the dollar value and why the dollar had the world reserve currency status. And in that process, I learned to save my money in physical silver and gold because that is real money. That's an asset. That's how you preserve your wealth and grow it. And in my journey of saving my money in physical silver and gold, obviously the emergence of blockchain and cryptocurrency and the ability to actually grow your money at a greater rate than what I was doing with gold and silver was attractive. And we looked at a lot of different opportunities dealing with cryptocurrency, had a lot of success, and just helped more and more people. So for years now, we've been building wealth in physical assets, gold and silver, and diversifying our portfolios into blockchain and cryptocurrency, which is the future, which is the present. It's where the monetary system is going. And most people don't realize that we are in a monetary reset. We're living in one of the most significant time periods ever in history. And it's important that you understand that the dollar is losing its status, it's losing its value, it's losing its credibility around the world. and that the world is moving back towards gold and silver and blockchain and crypto.
Okay. Wait a minute, Ricardo. You want to give out the tea. Hold on. I want to talk about Ricardo Hamilton first. Tell the
Yeah.
Hits family, how did you get started in the crypto space? Tell us a little bit about you.
Mhm.
I want to talk a little bit about the dad before we even get to
Okay.
make it make sense.
Yeah.
Ricardo Hamilton, I want you to tell us, like, when did you get started? How did you get started? When did you learn about cryptocurrency?
Yeah. So, like I said, I got started with gold and silver first, and then I got started with a company that was helping people get gold at fractionalized increments, and then they were looking at blockchain technology and creating a cryptocurrency that had a value tied to physical gold, which interested me because I understand that the reason that the dollar had value was because it was tied to gold throughout history. Since the times of Egypt, gold and silver have always had value. And I realized that if you took a cryptocurrency, a digital asset, and you tied it to a real asset in the world that is either redeemable for or the value is connected to it, that substantiated its value outside of just the digital technological value that's added. And so that's how I got started. And then as I started to understand blockchain and crypto more, I started get into DeFi, and getting into obviously during the bull cycles. NFTs came up, and meme coins, and people getting into all different areas and different layers of the blockchain. And then as you start to learn more, you start to realize that this is not just a speculative space to kind of risk and gamble and grow your money. This is actually real technology that's changing the way that the world not only just does finances, but literally everything. Everything will be on the blockchain. Everything will be tokenized. And so that is what thrusted me into changing my life. I'm mentally unemployable. I've been making over 6 figures for the last few years.
Wait a minute. What are you, Ricardo? I got to write that down.
I'm mentally unemployable.
I love that. What year did you get started in the crypto space?
I'll probably say it's about 2018. About 2018. Yeah.
And what made you want to get started? I mean, I know you love gold and silver. Like, were you working part of that? Like, did you have a job? Were you always an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I mean, before I got into crypto and really gold and silver, I had my own courier service. So I had some cargo vans, and we were doing some deliveries here on the East Coast. And but obviously, the major opportunity that people get into crypto is because they're looking to make more money. They want to grow their money, and so that's what got me in there first. I think that most people need to first get into crypto. You need to understand the technology. You need to understand blockchain technology. That would help you really grasp the value and the magnitude of just what is what's taking place around the world, and why the use case for crypto. But essentially, it was to make more money. I think that's why everybody essentially on Main Street got into crypto, is because they saw it was a way to make more money, not necessarily because of the tech.
Gotcha. So you were always an entrepreneur. I honestly did not know that part. My next question is, I want to change the course for a second to see if we can start this conversation. We have to talk about, let's talk about the attempted assassination on Donald Trump. Like, what's your take on that? I noticed on social media, you had a conversation with your partner Mike about that. Like, what's your take on that, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised if they try it again. Like I said, we're living in the most significant time period in history. What we're talking about today is about the future. It's not necessarily about right now. It's about next year and 5 years and 10 years from now and so on. The world is changing. We're living in the most significant time period ever. Anything that you've read about in history books or religious texts, there is no more important time than the time that you're living in right now. And them trying to assassinate Donald Trump is something that I'm like I said, I'm not surprised about. More information is coming out about that. More shooters, and just how horrible the security was and everything else. But I won't be surprised if they try something again. We're not done with this. This is war. There's war abroad. There's war here at home. We have enemies that are foreign and domestic. And a lot of people just don't really understand what's at stake. But I'm not surprised at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something else take place here.
Now, honestly, it was shocking for me, and I seen the market go up. What's your take on that? Did you notice that the market went up?
Once they probably realized he was fine. We'll understand something. Trump, if you're for cryptocurrency, your president is Trump. Okay. Most people vote based on their interests. Okay. They want to make sure that their family, their community are being taken care of, and that this politician is going to be there to help them what it is that they need in their life. Cryptocurrency, for those who like cryptocurrency, want to see their portfolio grow, want to make their financial future and their lifestyle sustained and grow. Trump is your president, not Joe Biden, and that's just the fact of the matter. So I didn't notice exactly at what time, but I'm not surprised to see that obviously the markets are going up, especially after finding out that it was an assassination attempt and not an assassination.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, though, Ricardo, just from my standpoint. I am in the crypto space. I absolutely love this space, but Trump is not my president. Yeah. I know.
Well, I said yours. I said the crypto. He's the president for crypto.
I know. I get it. Yeah. I see it every day. I promise you, I see it every day. I can't avoid it. It's just the environment, that is set in front of us. And I noticed that, that's just the way that it seems like if we're in the space, it does seem like that the hand is kind of tilted that way. But this hand,
it's definitely not Joe Biden. It's definitely not Joe Biden.
I know, but Ricardo, I have to say, I'm in the space, but I just can't go that way. But I do get it. I've heard this. This has been the same argument I've been having for like the last at least 10 days. I've been having this conversation. They was like, Diana, I don't understand how you can love the space and want the space and want so much for your family from the particular space and not see it from the other side. But it's just I can't participate in that.
Yeah.
Right. My engineer. She's saying the same thing. I can't do it. I do know that is like I said, I get where we're headed and what they're saying, but that is definitely not I just have to say prayer changes things, and I'm praying that we don't make that decision because of that. I will never make that decision because I can't promote the clown, the foolishness, whether he's for the space or not. I have to pray that, the Democrats will start moving in that direction as well, because crypto's our future. You can't get around it. It's just no way around it. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start talking a little bit more, all things blockchain. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
God, I've been walking in peace, gave me the key, I know that it's critical. Now that I'm here, I see everything that I need, found in the principle. And walking in fear, I'm not going back to the past. It really been minimal, I'm finna follow the king, I got a key. Now that I follow the principle, and I'm good, and I'm lit. I got God so I don't need a trip, I get to him everything that I'm in. Up in here and I know I won't miss, round me up from the gutter. Now I'm good and that's word of my mother. Not afraid, I know I'm a runner. You gonna see, God, I've been walking in peace, gave me the key, I know that it's critical. Now that I'm here, I see everything that I need, found in the principle. And walking in fear, I'm not going back to the past. It really been minimal, I'm finna follow the king, I got a key. Now that I follow the principle, seeking your word, had to love it. More that I learn about you than I learn about me, and I know how to function. I'm taking my peace, I'm walking in deep. The more that I love, then the more that I see. I'm seeing the fruit, I had to repeat. I keep on producing, it's better for me. God, I've been walking in peace, gave me the key, I know that it's critical. Now that I'm here, I see everything that I need, found in the principle. And walking in fear, I'm not going back to the past. It really been minimal, I'm finna follow the king, I got a key. Now that I follow the principle, nothing is stress, I know how to run it. Go. And I'm not a friend, I ain't tripping about nothing. Carry the principle, I had to touch it. When they tried to hate me, I still had to love. I ain't care cause I know what I wanted. Know that I beat it, no I ain't switching, I had to see. God, I've been walking in peace, gave me the key, I know that it's critical. Now that I'm here, I see everything that I need. Following the principle and walking in fear. I'm done going back to the past. It really been minimal. I'm finna follow the king. I got a key. Need that I follow the principle.
'Hey, the secret's out. Hits 92.3 is now accepting submissions for brand new shows. That's right, you could become a radio personality right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. You don't have experience? That's okay. You don't live in Georgia? That's okay. You don't know what to do now? Now that's not okay. But your girl is here to help you out. Email us today at hits923newshow@gmail.com and tell us about your potential show with Hits. Again, that email address is hits923newshow@gmail.com. Don't be last. The slots are filling fast.
Twelve to 1 on Hits 92.3. We're talking all things AI and blockchain. And this week I have a special guest. His name is Ricardo Make It Make Sense Hamilton. I'm super excited to be able to interview him and talk to him today because I noticed that we met in a previous company and we had I had the pleasure of building a relationship with him. That's one thing I do love about being in business. When you're working with somebody, you really get to know them on a different level. And being able to have those conversations with Ricardo, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for that. And one of the things that I noticed about him is that his love for gold and silver. And even though I am all things blockchain, I'm still in the space and I love that. And that's what I wanted to talk to him about today. Ricardo, tell us a little bit more about gold and silver and why you're so passionate about gold and silver.
Yeah, definitely. So most people don't realize that the dollar had, because right now it's losing that status, but the world reserve currency status, because it was backed by gold and silver. The dollar was as good as gold. In 1971, President Richard Nixon suspended the convertibility of the dollar to gold. But prior to the dollar having a world reserve currency status, it was the British pound sterling. That was backed by silver. Before then, it was the Dutch. Then the Romans and the Greeks, and in Africa, it's always been gold and silver. God's money has always been money. And when I learned that and I understood inflation, most people don't realize it, but the reason that you're having it harder and harder to maintain your standard of living is because they continue to print pieces of paper. They continue to add to the debt. And that inflation is making it harder for you to maintain your standard of living. But there are certain assets that keep up with inflation and that are a hedge against inflation and financial crisis, and that's gold and silver. So when I figured out that the wealthy, they have certain things that they do to preserve their wealth, and saving in physical gold and silver is one of those things. And there's an asset that I continue to accumulate, that I recommend everybody accumulates, especially during this monetary reset, where you see BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and other countries around the world buying more gold and silver than they have in any time period in history, because they know what's going on. They understand that the world is shifting away from this debt-based fiat monetary system to an asset resource-based monetary system. And so those who have real money, you'll be able to better weather the financial storm that we can find ourselves in than those who are just holding on to dollars and paper in their accounts.
Gotcha. So are you so tell us what you do when it comes to gold and silver. Is that are you part of a company that has an auto ship? Tell the listeners here at Hits 92, how can they get started? And why you would recommend, what would you recommend them to do if that was, something that they decided they wanted to do?
Yeah. So, I tell people all the time, in regards to your financial strategy, you want to have an emergency fund. So you do want to have that in cash, and cash flow is king. So I'm a high advocate of having multiple streams of income, having cash flow, passive and residual. Once I've learned about passive and residual income, like I said, I would never trade my time in for money again. I would never work for earned income. So I look for opportunities. I look for platforms. I look for systems that I can leverage that allow me to create cash flow from accumulating or sharing assets. And so we have a company that we use where we're getting physical silver and gold at cost. There's no markup on the asset. So we literally have the best prices. There's no company on the planet that has a better prices than, at cost metals, a company that we're using. And in that system, they have it to where we can save, one coin a month, on automatic. I have some here, actually. This coin, MS70 Silver Eagle, we get this coin at minimum once a month. They also have a referral program. Like I said, your ability to create an additional stream of income from saving in silver and gold and also sharing with others. So they have a referral program, and we make, significant, cash flow from accumulating this asset and helping people share it and make money with it.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit about, you talked a little bit about the debt. What do we want to say? I think it's like 34 trillion.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah, 34. Almost 35. Yeah, over 34. It's going to go to 35. It's going higher. The debt will have to the debt can never not increase because we live in a debt-based model. If they ever stop creating debt, the system would crash. You see, they have to inject liquidity into the system. And that's why people want the Federal Reserve to cut rates right now, because we're facing another credit crisis, liquidity crunch. Every 10 years or so, there's a crash in the market unless they inflate the bubble by creating liquidity, by adding money to the economy. But people don't understand something. They give with one hand and they take with the other. So the more money that they're printing, they're really taking away the value of the money that you've saved. They're taking away the purchasing power of the dollars that you're holding. So, as much as more people want a stimulus, as much as more people want more money to be printed into the system, because it creates a wealth effect. You feel like you're wealthier, but really the wealthy are the ones that get wealthier because it's assets that increase in value. But most of the poor and middle class, they don't have assets. They have liabilities. They have expenses. And so the things that they need, the food, the gas, everything else is rising, but their paychecks is stagnant, right? Or barely increasing. And then the purchasing power of what they're working so hard for is losing value, which means they have to work harder or accumulate more dollars to maintain their standard of living, while the wealthy know how to accumulate assets and leverage those assets and put those assets to work for them so they don't have to work. And that's where I see the future. I see the opportunity for the average person to be able to accumulate certain assets, physical silver, gold, and crypto. That is the real money. That is the real value. And you will be able to, in crypto, we say stake or, and with assets, we say collateralize or leverage, and you will be able to earn a yield or return on that because you have the assets that the institutions now need. Most people don't understand that. The Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank for central banks, have changed the rules, okay? And they made gold a tier 1 asset, and they've changed the requirements. So Basel III, if people listen to Jerome Powell testify before Congress, one of the major things that Congress was concerned about was the Federal Reserve's compliance with Basel III, which is a Bank of International Settlements requirement, regulatory standard for banks. And essentially, banks are undercapitalized. They don't have the assets. And essentially, it's saying that banks need to have more gold on the books. They need to have more assets on the books to cover their derivatives and, their loans and everything else that they're taking out there. So they need this asset. And so for people right now to be able to get, these assets at these prices, physical silver around $30, even gold just broke out yesterday at an all-time high. Gold is at an all-time high, $2,400, a little over $2,400. It's going higher. These assets are massively undervalued. They've been suppressed for a long time because Wall Street and the major banks don't want you in gold and silver. They want you into paper, dollar-denominated financial instruments because it's easier to confiscate your wealth that way and manipulate it during every market cycle. So, it's important that most people don't have the financial literacy to understand how the market or the system works. But one of the ways that you can, hedge against, that lack of understanding is just knowing how to properly save your money, which you don't save in dollars because a dollar doesn't save value. You don't save it in a bank account because the bank doesn't give you any interest on your money, essentially. They're loaning out 100% of your money. Fractional reserve lending requirements are set at 0 after the COVID 2020. Your money's losing value because of inflation. So you save it, in gold and silver. And then to me, your investments are in blockchain and crypto. But it's, we're moving into a whole new monetary system. And if you're just holding cash, you're going to get wiped out.
Okay, so with that being said, Bitcoin, crypto, they're chipping away at the dollar dominance. Let's talk about the upcoming, like this season that we're in, coming out of the bear market after the halving, heading. Do you feel like we're in the bull market right now? What's your take on that?
I would say that we're in an opportunity to accumulate. Most people want to be in a bull market because they want the value of their assets to go up. But when you realize that what's really going on, and when you realize what's to come, you want the assets, the value of these crypto. I want crypto to go down lower so I can accumulate more. Let me put it like that. I don't think you have enough. I think that when you really understand the opportunity that you have, if you have the right assets and you have the right amount of it, you will create massive generational wealth. You're 7 generations down, they will have your picture over top of the fireplace. Okay, because of what you've done during this time period. So while I tell people dream bigger, think bigger. I don't want crypto to take off right now. I want to accumulate more of these digital assets. I want to have a big old bag. So just a little increase can, set me up to where I'm 7-8 figures. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what the mindset should be. Yeah. I want it to go down, but we could be in a bull market right now. To me, it's irrelevant, whether it's because know what you hold, and just accumulate more of that.
It's funny that you say that, Ricardo, because I just had this whole conversation, and I have to be honest and transparent. I was fussing a little bit yesterday about, things not moving a little quicker, and just pretty much, venting. And at the end of the conversation, I remember the gentleman saying, like, Deanna, you understand that this is accumulation time. And I do know that. And God's honest truth, I know that. I was just like kind of having a moment. And he said the same exact thing that you just said. He was like, listen, honestly, I know you don't want to hear it, but honestly, enjoy this time, accumulate as much as you can. And keep, same thing. He didn't say your exact words, but he was like, build up the bag, because when this thing takes off, it's going to be incredible. So why not, leverage the time? Don't worry about what is not happening and the tokens not moving as quick as you want them to, focus on, what, if I was to just do a little bit more right now, I completely change generational wealth in my family. So it's so funny. That was just, God's confirmation for me that they were right, because we just had this whole conversation last night, and that's what they said. This is accumulation time. You have to understand the market. You got to take the emotions out of it and put your business hat on. Now is the time that you continuously keep growing, continuously keep pouring in the market, and understand that these prices that we see right now, we might not ever see again. Right. So leverage the opportunity. So it sounds like you're in agreement with that.
Yeah, definitely. If Bitcoin was to go to $1 million a day, are you ready? If Ethereum was to go to 100,000 a day, are you ready? That's what it's about. And so most people are not ready. A lot of our people, are not into crypto. They don't know how to get into crypto. They think you need to buy a whole Bitcoin. They don't understand that you can buy increments of it. They're not buying it on a constant, continuous, and consistent basis. At least once a month, diversifying and accumulating. There's a lot of people that just aren't into cryptocurrency. I think it's less than 4% in the world. It's just a huge opportunity right now to still be able to get these assets at these prices, because trillions upon trillions of dollars, are coming into the blockchain and crypto space. They're coming into assets. All right. And so you want to make sure that you can get the biggest bag that you can before that really starts to kick off and take place.
Okay. Do you still think that We might not be in a bear run. We're in accumulation time frame. Do you still think we're looking at the all-time highs somewhere between January to April?
Of 2025?
Yes.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Things are happening really fast. I think that it's going to make a lot of people's heads spin, the type of wealth and where these assets, digital and physical, are as we go into 2025. Just because of the dynamics that are going on globally, certain initiatives that are taking place right now, where the monetary system is and where the market is right now. When you have the bond market, and the yield curve inversions, and things like this, normally that signals that, we have a crisis ahead. And the truth is, we've never really came out of the crisis of 2008. They just printed more money. We were $10 trillion in debt. We're now, what did we say, 35? No bankers went to jail. They didn't really change any laws. So when people really understand the debt-based model, you understand it's just a matter of time before the system implodes on itself. And that's what we're seeing. And they reinflate the bubbles. But the world, the major difference now is blockchain and BRICS. When you have the world creating a payment system outside of the dollar, because the United States has weaponized the dollar through sanctions, they've weaponized the payment system through SWIFT. And then you have the rest of the world now wanting to use blockchain to conduct trade and commerce, back their currency by gold and strategically utilize silver. The dollar's days are numbered. In fact, recently Saudi Arabia they did not renew a contract that required them to have countries buy dollars to get oil. So that's what gave the demand for dollars around the world. Now that's not contractually enforced. Now, of course, they're still using dollars, but that represents a shift, a change in the system. The global demand for dollars is declining as they continue to print more dollars. That's inflationary. And that's going to hit us here at home more than anywhere else, because they're de-dollarizing. They're buying gold, they're buying silver, they're getting in the blockchain. And that's where the major divergence is really going to come as the G7 nations continue to decline and as the BRICS nations continue to rise. And that's what we're seeing right now. The BRICS nations, the emerging economies, are producing more collectively than the G7 Western nations. So we're actually in a decline here. And when you project that out over the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years and so on, these countries will be first world. And there's possibly, unless we get the right leaders in place here, we could see the standard of living, continue to be worse and decline here for us in the United States. So that's why this election and certain things are so important, because it's about your standard of living and it's about where we are in our global footprint in the world. And so, yeah, I mean, this is the opportunity. I tell people all the time, this is a massive opportunity for those who are doing the right things. But for those who just sit on the sidelines and just watching it take place, you probably are going to be, living a lifestyle that is not becoming of what you wanted for your future.
Gotcha. I was looking at something on your Facebook page that you posted, and it says JP Morgan warns 86 million customers they might have to start paying for their bank accounts.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hadn't seen that until you posted it. So I was looking at it a couple hours ago. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, that was definitely talked about. I know in Europe and other places where they had negative interest rates, and people had to, that means you just got to start paying for your bank accounts for that services. Most people just need to understand something, that the banks are insolvent. They don't have the money. The FDIC has just come out recently as well. I put that on the Facebook, and they said that about 63 banks are insolvent. They're going to collapse. The FDIC doesn't even have the money. People think, oh, my money's insured. Well, everybody needs to get paid. The money's not there. If everybody went to the bank today to get their money, the money's not there. Even now, if you go to the bank and try to pull out $10,000 or so, they probably don't have it. They probably got to order the money. So the system is over leveraged. That's why they want the Federal Reserve to cut rates so they can get money cheaply. They can get cheap money. But something happened when they shut down the whole world and they just created all this money and bailed everything out. They did something, and we're in uncharted territories right now. People just don't understand how bad it is. And the thing about the Federal Reserve is the Federal Reserve is not a government entity. They're not held accountable. The Federal Reserve is a private banking cartel. They're not part of the government. They haven't been audited. They'll never be audited. They don't answer to even the president of the United States. The Federal Reserve is a private bank cartel. Most people don't understand that. They don't know that. They think they're part of the U.S. government, and they're not. They're a private bank. And so you have these institutions and people that are doing things that aren't in your best interest. Obviously, because we wouldn't have the type of financial situation that we have, right now. But yes, banks are in trouble. The banks are in trouble. That's why we recommend people, get into blockchain, become your own bank. Save your money in real money. And hedge and diversify, because that's what the wealthy are doing. The wealthy are decentralizing their wealth. They're buying property outside the United States. They're doing certain things, and they're doing it for a reason.
Let me ask you a personal question, Ricardo. Have you started buying property outside of the United States?
Yeah, I actually have some land in Belize. We have a community that's being built in Belize. When I went to Belize, I loved it, fell in love with Belize. The environment, the culture, the people. It was very similar to the U.S. because they were colonized by the British. So the outlets, the same outlets we use. Everybody there speaks English. Everybody speaks English. The weather, it was just beautiful, and it just made sense. A lot of the laws and structure and what I was looking at for me. But yes, you should be looking at living in the private or, having some land outside the United States as well. Because there's a difference between, living in a private and living in the public.
And you know what? It's so funny because I remember when you went to Belize. I remember when you were working on that project. And for me, I feel like now, I feel like it was a missed opportunity for me, because I remember when you came back. I remember our conversations. And I honestly feel like I've been in my own little blockchain community world, and I wasn't looking outside of there. I feel like I had these walls up. I wasn't looking and really understanding. And then I got a coach. When I got a coach and he started talking to me about all the things going on in the world, I said, oh my God, when I listen to Cliff, I hear Ricardo. And both of you guys are just talking about all of these things that are going on in the world. And I was in my little bubble. And I was only concerning myself what was happening with my community, that I wasn't as open as I needed to be. And I'm sitting here now, and he says the same thing. He's 100%, on board with buying outside of, the United States. And now I get to talk to him with him being my coach, and we meet every Wednesday. I was going to say, I'm putting that back on my list, and I will be calling you to see if it's too late for me with that opportunity now, because I remember when you were doing that. So let me ask, is it too late to get in on your community that you were doing with that Belize project?
No, it's not too late. Even, people might look at where the market is in crypto or gold and silver or, buying land. It's not too late. If you're finding out about this now, even as of today, the most important thing is that you take action, that you have a plan, that you're constantly, continuously, consistently executing that plan. The problem is most people lack discipline. So they'll have a good idea and they'll do something for 1 week or 1 month, but they don't stick with it. And wealth building is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a process, so we're not talking about get rich quick. We're talking about get wealthy slow. And that is a process, So as long as you, whatever it is, if you say I'm gonna buy $25 worth of Bitcoin or $25 worth of XRP, or I'm gonna buy 1 ounce of silver, whatever it is, just do it consistently, even if it's once a month. That process will start to change your life, and you'll be more financially secure. And then the only other thing I would say is when you do accumulate these assets and you do get land and everything else, you want to figure out and learn how to live in a private. You want to be able to put your assets and put yourself in a position to where you don't have to worry about, the agencies coming after you for what you have. So we're talking about being able to properly, have some legitimate write-offs and deductions and things of that nature. Being able to protect your assets, either in a private foundation or in your trust, and things of that nature. Living in a private, that's like the top of the pyramid to me, because you can get wealthy, but if you're still under their jurisdiction, I should say, then what's yours is theirs, and they can find a way to come get it.
I 100% agree with that. I actually just reached out to my team of people today and said I was going to start with the leadership team, and I was going to talk to them tonight. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about we don't want to own anything, but we want to control everything. And it's just that time to start putting those things into place. So you know what I want to talk about? It really applies to me. I'm just always open and transparent. I feel like I so thank God because everybody doesn't have a Cliff in their life. Everybody doesn't have a Ricardo in their life. And even with me having, I think that because, Ricardo, I'll just call you, I'll text you, I was like, hey, can we talk? And I thank God that you do pour into me. I thank God, again, that I had the wisdom to go get a coach too. But even with being in a space, I'm 100% on board with crypto, blockchain. I struggle. I do. I struggle because, sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy because it's never happens when we want it to. We always want it to be on our time. But what would you say to a person? Because a lot of times, for me, I'm 100% sold out, but everybody's not. And I see that on a daily basis with my organization, because sometimes I feel like, they got a toe in, they straddling the fence, they're not really sure. Like you said from the very beginning, you said, what's these words? I'm mentally unemployable. And I like that because I've even struggled like, oh, this market is so slow. Should I go get a job? Should I go add more money? I know I want to keep building more assets and things like that. But what would you say to a person that they got one toe in, they still doing network marketing, they're still like all over the place because they haven't made a decision? When to me, I feel like, in my personal opinion, and you tell me if I'm wrong, like when it comes to blockchain and crypto, that's our dominating currency right now. That's where we're headed. Like you can't stop it. So what would you say to that person, like to help them to make a decision? Because everything is about the power of a decision.
Yeah. I would say that, we have money, we work, we have capital, we have everything that we need at our fingertips, information, technology, access, everything that we need to change our life is literally, a click away. It just comes down to you being consistent in that acquisition, in that strategy. So like I said before, even if it's crypto, if you're somebody who got 1 foot in, at least be consistent with that 1 foot. If you're like, I'm gonna just do $25 a month, just do $25 a month in crypto, whatever it is. If it's 1 ounce of silver, just do that and do that consistently. And over time, your financial situation will change. Over time, your anxiety level comes down because your education level and experience has come up. And like I said, this is not a get rich quick system. This is a process. This is a journey of understanding, of financial literacy, of wealth building. So don't be like, I don't have, $1,000 today to put into something. It's not about that. It's about you being able to do something consistently, and then in the accumulation of that process. And then when you look back, when I pulled up these bricks, when I first got started, I didn't have 2 100-ounce bricks that are, this is like $6,000 in my hand right here. But, silver was cheaper back then, so the asset went up. But I didn't have bricks. I started out with, 1 coin. I just started getting, 1 ounce of silver, a month, or I was getting gold. And over time, you find that you're sitting on, ounces and hundreds of ounces. And you find yourself, the assets goes up. Same thing with crypto. You'll find yourself, and we tell people all the time, don't count your money. We don't count money. We weigh our money. When it comes to silver and gold, we weigh. It comes to ounces. When it comes to crypto, it's about the quantity. It's about the quantity, how many of a particular cryptocurrency that you have, because a dollar amount is irrelevant. When you realize that you're valuing you're valuing real assets in something that is a depreciating currency. You're valuing something in something that is constantly losing value. That thing that you're valuing it is going to continue to rise. The price is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Honestly speaking, the price is irrelevant. It's about how much of it do you have. That's why I said it's not about the bull market. It's not about Bitcoin hits 1 million. It's about how much, how many Satoshis do you have, or whatever cryptocurrency is. It's not about when gold and silver goes to the roof. It's about how many ounces, do you have? Because one thing that is a constant is that the dollar will continue to lose value. The dollar has lost over 98% of its purchasing power since its inception. So that's the thing about it. People don't realize, since the inception of the dollar, Federal Reserve note, 98% of its purchasing power has been lost. And it's even worse today, right? But it's been lost. So this is why you want to make sure that you have assets, because those assets, as the dollar loses value, rises in value. So earlier, I just talked about how gold hit an all-time high. The gold didn't change. It's the same gold. The gold didn't do anything miraculous to give it more value. What happened is that the dollar lost value. So as a dollar lose value, those who have assets, they become more wealthier, right? So that's the name of the game. I would just say, for the average person, whether you're working a job or you're in network marketing, or you're in it, whatever you're doing, just have a plan, stick with it, and do it consistently. Whether that's, like I said, a little bit of crypto, a little bit of silver, and you'll look back 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and you're in a totally different place than where you are before. But now you have some real capital to be able to do something with.
Ricardo, tell our HITS family, how can they get in touch with you? Like, where can they find you at on social media? Because I don't know if you can see the comments, but they're saying, hey, I want to connect with you on this Belize project. Hey, I might want to connect with you on the gold and silver. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, obviously, Ricardo Hamilton on Facebook. Same thing as YouTube as well. And obviously people can email me as well, rhamilton19@gmail.com, rhamilton19@gmail.com. I'm on TikTok. I'm on, Instagram as well. But the best way to personally direct, get with me probably would be email. I do check my Facebook. Obviously, you can't message me in YouTube. I'm on X as well, but send me an email, and that way I get back to you directly. And make sure, one thing I'll say about this space too of influencers and dealing with people is that there's a lot of scammers out there. So I never message people first. So make sure that, and if you are not sure that you're speaking with me, I will get on the phone with you. So give me a call, because there's a lot of scammers out there that will create fake accounts. They will message you. They will try to get you into some Forex deal or whatever it is and scam you. So make sure you look out for the scammers. If you ever confused that it's me, give me a call. You'll know my voice.
I can actually vouch for that, because that's what I did. I remember reaching out to you, and after talking to you, I think that's what made me make a decision that you were somebody I wanted to get to know, because you're so passionate. I don't care what it is that you do. Like, you're never like one toe in, one toe out. Like, I'm not really sure if this is what I want to do. I don't care what it is. Like, you are 100% on board. And I love that, because with the law of the lid, how can somebody take you someplace that they've never been? Why would you want to partner with somebody who doesn't, they're flip-flopping, they're wishy-washy and different things like that? And those are the things that, I can honestly say I absolutely love about you, because I don't care what it is. When you do it, you are 100% on board with that project. And you can tell you fall in love with that process. You're going to research it. Because I'll call you and we have conversations, and I'm not always happy about what you say, but I gotta respect it, because you do your due diligence, and I'll just have to, sometimes we agree to disagree as well. But I was going to say, I so thank you and appreciate you for taking your time out today and sharing with our HITS 92.3 family. Hopefully you guys will literally stalk him, because to me, I don't know, we started out with me just wanting to know a little bit about an opportunity, and we have cultivated this relationship that I absolutely love. And I say all the time, one thing that I always give people credit and people don't understand, but I was like, I love that even though you're this phenomenal businessman, you are the same way when it comes to dad mode too. So I love that about you too. So I wanted to say thank you for taking your time with jumping on today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, and I just appreciate you. We're here each and every Wednesday from 12 to 1 talking AI and blockchain. So hopefully we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
All right.
I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? I don't think that I could live no other way. Truth be told, I'm living now on an A. Now I done seen them blessings in the modern day. The Lord I serve, He give them to me every day. I'm forgiven, I'm forgiven. See, I done been forgiven, now I'm living. And when I say I love, I mean it. Cause none of this be nothing if He coming, I'm missing y'all. I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, 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 I love him.
You ain't got the money moving by yourself. And you know you did it with a lot of air. You know it's only one, it ain't nobody else. You got me talking strong and I ain't rich, I'm talking well. See, I'm forgiving, I'm forgiving. See, I done been forgiven, now I'm living. And when I say I love, I mean it. Cause none of this be nothing if He coming, I'm missing y'all. I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, love him, love him, love him, love him, love him, I love him.
Wanted you to fall. You remember I do. You could have lost it all. You remember I do. No one can throw you off. Oh, we got you covered. Protect us from it all. That's what makes me love Him. I don't need a reason to fall on my knees and tell Him how I feel in my heart and let Him know I love. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, love him, love him, love him, love him, love him, love him,